Alright, James here. This is a voiceover for the Nergigante battle in Monster Hunter World Beta. What you're seeing here is the last 9 minutes that my PS4 DVR managed to capture. In this watery area I was originally looking for dragon pods, as I was fortunate to find them during the fight once. Now I generally use the hunting horn as my primary weapon, but a friend who I originally tried to beat the elder dragon with saw how I was fighting. With the way the Nergigante was moving meant that I wasn't getting enough damage done, so I tried fighting with dual daggers in order to do more damage over time while retaining my agility and being able to keep up with the monster. My current build here is Jaguar's armor for the health recovery. Using a potion takes a couple seconds instead of 6 to 10 seconds. It's possible it's actually the speed eating skill. Either way, it's nice to recover health in shorter periods. In addition, I opted to take the Rocksteady Mantle and the health booster. My Palico, which the Nergigante aggroes onto also often, is equipped with Anja armor, but the most important thing is he is using the Shield Spire. Don't quote me if I'm wrong on the name. It's one of the 3 items besides the Vigor Wasp spray and the Flash Fly Cage. The Shield Spire protects my Palico, but aggroes large monsters more, which I really needed since I'm the one doing more damage between the two. Now you may notice the white spikes on the Nergigante. A little thing to note is if those spikes turn black, it's then really difficult to break its spikes. Its defense is more reinforced and any attacks will just bounce off. Or worst case, just heavily reduced attack damage being dealt. You may have noticed the use of the tent. Before in previous ones I found myself running out of mega potions. So even though this is taking my time to fight the creature, I don't particularly want to fight without enough health potions. The Nergigante's attack with it hovering into the air before bombing down its target is surprisingly deadly. It killed me earlier, but that wasn't of much surprise based on my condition then. In a previous run, at full health and with the Rocksteady Mantle on, the Nergigante's dive bomb attack was capable of one hit killing me, so it's vital by all means necessary to try and stay out of its way. Now you might have guessed already, but this isn't my first attempt at fighting this elder dragon. Ooh, I might jump on the words up a bit. I've tried different weapons, with or without friends, different mantles, different armors, and even during gameplay, I made many rookie mistakes. For instance, I became too reliant on my health booster, that while my Palico took a lot of heat, I stood there like a numpty despite being stocked on mega potions. Which in hindsight could have really costed me the fight, since it's a race against a 15-minute clock to slay the beast. The major reason for switching from the hunting horn to dual daggers allows me to focus on the fighting, since with the hunting horn I wasted too much time trying to buff everyone, which more often than not it'd always interrupt my buffing. The Nergigante, I mean, would always interrupt my buffing. This huge rocky deserted area is typically another ground to fight the Nergigante on, but thankfully in this case, because it was already limping, we skipped that battleground altogether. With all this downhilly area, especially for dual dagger use, if you can keep up with the monster, it is a fantastic spot to really do some damage to the Nergigante. Earlier in the battle before the recording would start, I had already mounted on top of the Nergigante, hence likely why the mounting attack never activated here. The event did lead me to needing a whetstone to sharpen my blades, as you saw in the beginning, which you can see indicated by the dagger icon on the HUD. Green is standard for being sharp, and as it goes yellow and eventually red, your weapon is dulling, meaning you're more prone to weaker attacks and more frequent bounce back. Now, one of the wonderful things about Monster Hunter World, besides the fact the maps are surprisingly bigger, is that you have more camps located around the area. And depending where you faint, you'll spawn at the nearest camp, though that's my hypothesis. There's been plenty of times I've been taken to another camp that's a bit of distance from the creature and has caused me a couple of treks back, wasting my precious time I have to knock the dragon out of commission. Now, perhaps this is exclusive to Elder Dragons, or this specific dragon altogether, but me and my friends have tried setting shock traps, and the Nergigante has gone over it multiple times with no effect. It leads me to believe either it's not affected by the trap, there's a means to activating the trap now, or the Nergigante has a very particular hitbox that the trap will only activate on. Either way, it would still a pain in the ass. So here we have it, I finally beat the Nergigante.
Alright, you completed the quest! Congrats!
From the pack at the end, it looks like we get more Mega Potions, Hot Mists for cold climates, recommendations. There's probably a lot more to the packs than what we're actually seeing here. As anyway, the next time I fight the Nergigante, it will be in the main game, with more than a measly 15 minutes to spare, and more importantly with better weapons, better armors, and especially an easier way to join on friends without the old use of the Crest ID system. At least I surely hope. Sorry for talking your ears off. If you enjoyed watching this video, consider liking this, and certainly consider picking the game up when you get the chance.